What's up, everybody? Hey, they said they found what was it? Squirrel meat in the freezer in a Chinese restaurant. Man, what do you expect, man? Every and listen, this is America. In America, we don't eat food like that. In America, we don't eat like rodents and stuff. We eat rabbit and squirrel. But what they said they found? What kind of meat was it? Squirrel meat. Yeah, it was squirrel meat. People eat squirrel meat all the time. I used to eat squirrel. It's tough. I don't know what they do to make it soft. It's tough. Squirrel meat is very tough. I think they said they found squirrel meat. Squirrel meat is very tough to eat. You gotta know how to cook squirrel meat. But in other countries they eat rodents, and then they do it here because nobody cares. Nobody checks it. And those restaurants, all them Chinese restaurants in the hood. I remember Chinese restaurants first started opening up in the hood. They used to have eating. They used to have tables, and they used to serve you. Like they used to serve you. You had tables. You sit at the table like a regular restaurant. And then they started taking the chairs out because people started hanging out and not leaving, and hanging out, using for hangouts, and cursing loud and getting in fights and stuff like that. So they took the chairs out the Chinese restaurant. There's one right there. There's one up there on the corner. I think it's up there. I'm not sure. That's where I got my poem in my poetry book, and I said the restaurant is called Wu Hop. But then they got one down there. I know on 155th Street that was a hangout at one time. And that's the reason they take the chairs out. But you don't know what them Chinese, I don't want to say nothing bad about Asian people because I don't know any personally. And I never eat rat meat or squirrel meat or whatever it was. Not that I know of. But they said if you ate out of a Chinese restaurant before, you don't eat rat meat or you don't eat squirrel meat or something. You don't eat some kind of rodent. But I know I go to Chinatown. I used to go to Chinatown. I used to buy rabbit meat. You can buy rabbit meat. You can buy frog legs and stuff like that. But it is what it is, man. Like I said, a lot of them restaurants came in the hood to take money out the neighborhood. Because you buy something from them, you buy something every day from the Chinese restaurant, but they don't buy nothing from you. You buy something from the corner store every day, but the man in the corner store don't buy nothing from you. You buy something every day from that restaurant right there, chicken joint, whatever it is, but they don't buy nothing from you. Everybody comes in the hood to take money. They come in the hood to take money and they leave. Every night a black neighborhood goes through a Great Depression because all these stores close. All these stores close at night. And ain't no black stores open. And ain't no black stores. It is very, 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 very few black stores in black neighborhoods. Except for like if you go to Brooklyn, we got the Caribbean stores. You got Haitians that own businesses. You got Jamaicans that own businesses. The Caribbean people got businesses. But black Americans, we don't have businesses in the hood. We used to. I remember they had a lot of black businesses in black neighborhoods. They had a black shoe shop. We could get your shoes shined. They had the shoemaker. I made a video about it before. Look on my post and see. I don't remember. I talked about they had the meat market and stuff like that. Because I remember there was a time you used to have to go to the meat market to buy meat. You didn't buy meat from a grocery store. You bought meat from the meat market. And we had a black butcher up there named Mr. Mitchell. And he was the locksmith. He was the neighborhood locksmith. You had stuff like that, but you don't have that now. A lot of times that stuff was taken out of school for that reason. You had locksmiths and car repair shops and music in these schools, but then they took that stuff out and they put it in the jails. So when you can't get a job, you go to jail. Then you learn how to do that stuff in jail. You learn that's the way it's designed. That's the way the system is. It's called social engineering. People like to get online and argue about that, but black people have been socially engineered to the lowest level of a real life monopoly game. And that's why when you go in a black neighborhood, you don't see no black businesses. The money is made to come in the neighborhood and it leaves out the corner store, the liquor store, the Chinese restaurant, that Texas joint up there. Everybody comes in the hood to take the money out. They got that store right there. But this part of the neighborhood is not as bad as it used to be. It's been gentrified. It's been gentrified a lot. So it's not bad as it used to be. I used to jog down here. And I remember all these buildings were abandoned. But everything is designed to take money out the neighborhood. It's not designed to bring money in the neighborhood. It's designed to take the money out. Lidl is German. That's a German store right there. It's called Lidl. Lidl is German. That's a German store. It's a German supermarket. When I lived in Germany, they had Lidl out there. They had Lidl and Aldi. That's where Nutella comes from. That's where the Capri Suns come from. The Capri Suns is that juice that you stick the straw in and you squeeze the juice to the straw. That's where the gummy bears come from. They call them Gummy Bears. Now all that stuff come from Germany. And the main and you got a Lidl down south where I was at. And the main reason you got the Lidl down south is because you got a lot of Germans that live down south now. And they came to America because they got the BMW dealership. They got the BMW dealership down in South Carolina. So you got a lot of Germans that live down there. And this bugs me out because Trump, he's trying to get rid of immigrants. But you got all the immigrants coming in from Germany. You got all the European immigrants coming in from Germany and South Africa and stuff like that. He just don't want no black immigrants in America, and he don't want no Spanish speaking immigrants in America. That's what it was. But at one time, they wasn't stopping it. They was inviting them in. They was inviting all the Spanish people in. They invited all the people in America. They invite all the immigrants to America, and they classify them as white on their paperwork. I'm not talking about their pictures and stuff. I'm talking about all their paperwork. They're classified as white. Classified as white. Spanish people get classified as white. Germans get classified as white. Russians get classified as white. Indians get classified as white. All the people on their paperwork get classified as white. And they send them to the hood to open up them stores because, like Claude Edison said, it's a direct link between crime and poverty. And black neighborhoods are poverty stricken because everybody comes in the neighborhood and they take money and they leave. Like I said, you buy something from the corner store, they don't buy nothing from you. You buy something from that Texas spot, he don't buy nothing from you. You buy something from that chicken joint, they don't buy nothing from you. Nobody buys nothing from black people. That's why when a black person want to make some money, they got to leave the neighborhood. They can't stay in the neighborhood. But they going. That's why they got to leave the neighborhood. When they make money, they got to leave the neighborhood. That's what I'm talking about. Like I was saying, like when you watch the NBA draft and NFL draft, and the white athletes get drafted, they ain't got to move out their neighborhood. They stay right there in their neighborhood. They stay right there on their father's land, and just add on to the house and make it bigger. They stay right on their father's land because their father be owning like 20 acres, 40 and 50 acres. They stay right there. And all they got to do is build a house on their father's land. But when a black person gets some money, he got to move out the hood. He can't stay on the hood. When they make money, they got to leave. They can't stay here because everybody going to be begging them and trying to scheme on them. Remember that. That's why when you see in the NBA draft, them NBA players be happy in the hood. White NBA, a white guy get drafted to the NBA. White dude, he ain't gotta leave. His family own land. His family owning land. They ain't gotta leave. They own 40 and 50 acres of land. They stay right there. Just make the house bigger. That's all they gotta do. Alright, I think I told y'all to death, didn't I? Take it easy, alright? What was I talking about? How to start? Oh, like I was saying, black neighborhood is like a bucket with a bunch of holes in it. Everybody come and take money and they leave.